Okay, so let's get right into it. If you've spent any time on TikTok or YouTube recently, you've probably seen this thing blowing up, the Jello Hack. People are literally just mixing unflavored gelatin with water, drinking it before a meal, and claiming it's some kind of weight loss miracle. But is there any actual truth to it? In this explainer, we're going to cut through all that hype and see what the science really has to say.
I mean, the claims are pretty wild. As nutritionist Reka Cocker points out, the internet is just buzzing with people saying this simple drink crushes your hunger and basically melts fat away. It sounds amazing, right? Almost a little too good to be true.
So that's the big question we're tackling today. Is this a legit kitchen hack that's actually based on how our bodies work? Or is it just another social media trend that's going to be gone in a few months? Let's figure out what's fact and what's fiction.
Now, to be fair, this trend isn't pulled out of thin air. There's actually some science behind it. It's not magic. It really is about how gelatin interacts with your stomach. So let's break down the mechanics of why this thing can actually make you feel full.
Okay, so there are basically three things going on here. First, that gelatin mix hits your stomach, soaks up water, and expands. It physically takes up space, which hits the sensors that tell your brain, hey, we're getting full in here. Second, because it's a protein, it helps trigger the release of hormones like GLP-1, which are like your body's natural appetite suppressants. And third, and this is a big one, it actually slows down how fast your stomach empties. That means you stay feeling full for longer.
And research actually shows this short-term effect pretty clearly. A 2009 study found that when people had gelatin for breakfast, they ate significantly fewer calories at their next meal compared to other common proteins like casein or whey. So yeah, for that one meal, it really does seem to work. But, and this is a huge but, this is where we need to pump the brakes. Feeling full before one meal is one thing, but achieving real long-term weight loss, well, that's a much, much bigger picture. Let's get into why this isn't the magic bullet the internet claims it is. Think of it this way. Your body has at least 4 major systems that manage your weights. You've got your appetite, sure, but you've also got your metabolism, your blood sugar regulation, and even your stress hormones. The gelatin trick, it only pokes at one of those, appetite. So by focusing only on feeling full, you're leaving a whopping 75% of your body's entire weight management system totally untouched. That's like trying to fix a car that won't start by only cleaning the windshield. You're ignoring the most important parts. And this is where the science really hits home. On one side, you have the short-term effect. Yes, it can help you eat less at your very next meal. But then you look at the long-term reality. A different study followed people for 8 whole weeks and found that adding gelatin to their diet led to no more weight loss than other protein diets. The initial effect just doesn't hold up over time.
So, on top of not being a great long-term strategy, there are also some real risks and side effects that those viral videos tend to, well, leave out. Some are just annoying, but others have a pretty serious history that we really need to talk about.
Let's start with the common stuff. You know how gelatin absorbs a ton of water? Well, if you don't drink a lot more water to compensate, constipation is a very real side effect for up to half the people who try this. You might also feel bloated for the first week, or even a little nauseous if you drink it too close to mealtime. They're manageable for sure, but they're not exactly part of the sales pitch online. Okay, now for the really serious part. Back in the 1970s, there was a craze for these super low-calorie liquid protein diets. A report in 1979 actually linked these diets to at least 17 deaths. And the protein source they were using? Hydrolyzed collagen, which is basically just gelatin. This happened because people were trying to replace entire meals with this stuff. And that brings us to a really critical point.
The reason it was so dangerous is that gelatin is what's called an incomplete protein. See, your body needs 9 essential amino acids that it can't make on its own. It has to get them from food. A complete protein has all 9. Gelatin is missing some of them. So if you rely on it as a main source of protein, you can end up with serious nutritional deficiencies.
So, we've looked at the science of how it works, we've seen its major limitations, and we've talked about the potential risks. So where does that leave us? Let's put it all together and give a final verdict. Is this thing a useful tool or just a viral gimmick? You know, this chart puts everything into perspective perfectly. Just look at the comparisons. Simply drinking water before meals, it tackles the exact same system, appetite, and it costs absolutely nothing. The gelatin trick is way more expensive than other options like fiber, and just like them, it's still only hitting 1 out of those 4 crucial weight management systems. The results you can realistically expect are pretty modest.
And I think this quote from nutritionist Rekha Kakar just nails it. It's a fullness tool, not a fat burner. And that distinction, it matters a lot. Its job isn't to magically burn fat. It's to maybe, just maybe, help you manage your portion size by making you feel a bit fuller before you start eating. So here's the key takeaway. The gelatin trick is not a weight loss solution. It's a satiety trick. It does one thing and one thing only. It creates a temporary feeling of being full that might help you eat a little bit less at your next meal. That's it. That's the whole show. Which really leaves us with one final question for you to think about. When it comes to your health, what's the real goal? Are you looking for a temporary hack that only addresses a tiny piece of the puzzle? Or are you aiming for a sustainable, long-term solution that actually supports all of your body's systems? Your answer to that question will tell you everything you need to know about the Jello Hack.